So I was scrolling through Steam the other night, just looking for something new to play when this game caught my eye. Fechtbucher. I didn't know much about it, but the words uber-realistic medieval combat definitely stood out. I decided to give it a try, and boy, am I glad I did. Fechtbucher is a medieval combat game built around physics-based melee fighting. Everything is inspired by HEMA, historical European martial arts. That means the stances, the guards, the strikes, all of it is drawn straight from medieval fighting manuals, the Fechtbucher themselves. Now, the full game promises dungeons, a dark storyline, and more ways to test your blade, but right now the demo only features arena mode, which honestly is enough to keep you busy for a few hours. Here's the catch though, arena mode revolves around glory points. Every fight earns you a set amount depending on what you choose. Hit 100 glory and you unlock a boss fight. Beat the boss and the game moves you up a tier, where you encounter tougher enemies with stronger armor and deadlier weapons. Lose and well, you just get to admire your dead body on the ground. Each fight feels different and the glory system makes every win feel like progress towards something bigger. But let's be honest, the most important question is it fun? And yeah, honestly it is. I spent a few hours just grinding fights, trying to get better with the controls. When you finally land a clean hit, or you time a parry just right, it feels so satisfying. There's real weight behind the weapons and you feel every blow connect. The good in this game is obvious. The combat is brutal, rewarding, and when it clicks, it's amazing. Pulling off the half sword technique with the two-hander feels incredible. Suddenly, that weapon that felt unwieldy in the normal stance becomes precise and deadly. The gore is impactful, the atmosphere is gritty, and the fights can get pretty intense. With the game still being in demo, there are rough edges around. The game can feel clunky at times. When too many characters are on screen, I noticed significant lag, at least on my rig. The camera can also be a pain, especially when you lose sight of your enemy mid-fight. The lock-on system is strange. Sometimes it feels like it's too strong and focusing on one enemy too much. Sometimes it feels too weak and it's just moving all over the place. More than once I found myself swinging directly behind my opponent like an idiot. And don't even get me started on that ogre. That fight destroyed me over and over until I finally unlocked the hammer. Only then did I stand a chance. In its current form, this game does feel like an unpolished remake of another popular game, Half Sword. The similarities are definitely there, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Fechtbucher takes those foundations and adds its own flavor, especially with the HEMA focus and the glory progression system. I'm really excited to see where it goes. The developers mentioned the other game modes in the works, tournaments, dungeon crawling, and even a dark story-driven campaign. Right now, arena mode already shows off the core combat, and if they expand on that with more polished systems, they could turn into something really special. So yeah, Fechtbucher might only be a demo right now, but it's a promising one. It's rough in places, but sure, when it works, it delivers some of the most satisfying medieval melee combat I've played in a while. I'm excited to keep grinding, unlocking more weapons, and testing myself against tougher enemies. And I can't wait to see how the other planned modes, especially the Dark Dungeon storyline, adds to the game. If you're into brutal physics-driven combat and don't mind a little jank, Fechtbucher is worth checking out. I'll definitely keep my eye on this one. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the subscribe button. There's plenty more medieval madness to come.